Welcome to 4225 Ponce, where we installed a radio system servicing the police and fire department of Coral Gables. In this system, we installed 1,500 feet of cable, 20 antennas on the 700, 800 megahertz system.
Dispatch, engine 4, I'm inside. You copy?
Engine 4, loud and clear.
So I'm here joined with Gabe Lopez, who has been a project manager and working for BDA for many years now. He came up through the ranks in the engineering department, and he brings an interesting perspective to how to project manage these systems, which is why he was such a great person to bring onto this one. The team, comprised of somebody with an engineering background, is really a winning success story when we have the unique opportunity to work with a tower that's so close by, with a heavy building with a lot of concrete and reinforced elements. So as we know, more concrete and rebar and low E glass like we need in South Florida really tends to block signal from the outside. And even though the building was only about a mile away from the transmission tower for the City of Coral Gables, the BDA was still required in areas where even more reinforced concrete was there. So that's your elevator pit, your elevator shaft, your stairwells. Those are the areas that are critical to first responders, where they're more than likely going to be walking through during a service call of your building. And that's really where we focused on for our antenna system, and where we wanted to provide coverage and amplification through the BDA. So bringing that into perspective, Gabe was a great asset to bring to the team. We were able to save a lot of money as we routed the cables through areas that really just needed it. So we were able to make penetrations in coordination with the electrician and the GC, saving us extra cable routes that we didn't need. And ultimately, it was a win-win for both parties involved. So in this installation, it was a really unique opportunity for us to revisit the way that BDA systems used to be installed back in the day. These days, we prefer to run our own conduit or use armored cable to provide the mechanical protection that we have to do for our raceways. On this one, the GC was adamant that we use the electrician on site, and we coordinated with them based on our conduit plan how to run our pathways. So Gabe, what was some of the things that you had to really ensure the electrician knew about when we were working through the plan for this system and where we wanted to route our cabling?
Yeah, so the City of Coral Gables is a pretty nuanced permitting department, and they wanted us to have our riser cable match the survivability of the building. And so with that being said, the electrician was able to meet the requests that we were making with our conduit plan and was able to meet the requirements of the city. And usually that's a little bit difficult because some electricians aren't really aware of the requirements that we need for our system, and sometimes things can go wrong. But thankfully in this project, the electrician was able to work flawlessly and everything went according to plan, and we didn't really have any issues.
Yeah, it's really a treat when we get to work with people who have done BDA in the past and have had success with that. I think that people who have done these systems before recognize what a good winning BDA team and installation should look like, and we were obviously able to meet that. And I'm really excited to work on the next one with them. You know, what are some of the lessons learned that we could have avoided that we're going to bring forward? I have to imagine some of the penetrations maybe were done in the wrong area or something like that. What is something that we could do that would alleviate a lot of those pain points of having to redo some cores or correct some of the pathways that we made?
Yeah, for sure. I would say communication is key in projects like this. Whenever we need something specific or something that the HA is requiring, they are able to work with us. They were a real big help with us. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to get specific requirements or specific needs communicated directly to the client, but they were very hands-on and they were able to help us every step of the way and made this a seamless and easy process for us.
Nice. So this building was really unique in that it's only about a mile away from the transmission tower for the City of Coral Gables. And most projects that we do that are this close to the tower, the penetration from the outside signal into the building usually is good enough for a passing score when we do our RF survey at the beginning. The fact that the building is still reinforced to Miami-Dade County hurricane standards, that everything has to basically survive a category 6 now, so much concrete, low E glass for energy efficiency, and the amount of rebar and structural integrity that the building has to maintain for many years, it's going to be a big hindrance to outdoor signal coming in. So even though we were so close to the tower, this 8-story building that had a clear line of sight still needed a lot of coverage on the upper floors. We wouldn't be surprised about the elevator and some of the lower floors needing coverage, but we ended up having to take it all the way to the rooftop, almost to the rooftop, and that was really interesting. So what are some of the challenges, Gabe, that we would overcome in terms of not hurting the overall macro or large outdoor network provided by the City of Coral Gables? How do we commission and tune the BDA so that it's working well with the rest of the system, with the rest of the other BDAs in the area, and also provide the coverage we need for first responders in the building?
Yeah, so touching a bit on the engineering background of this, since the tower is so close and we're getting such a strong signal from the radio tower that's already in place, we have to kind of maneuver the amplification of the signal coming in to not mess with the current system that's already in place. So with that being said, we would keep the gain a little bit lower than usual on a typical project to ensure that we're still getting signal in the critical areas as well as the main areas such as the lobby, any hallways, things like that. So that was a bit of a challenge, but we were able to maneuver that and ensure that signal was properly allocated throughout the building.
Right, the areas that are most important, as we've all said before, critical points, right? And general floor plan area, especially like this lobby, that are windows throughout, there's a really big balance game that we have to play between the outdoor and the indoor signal. When a portable radio walks into this building, there has to be a transfer from the outdoor connection to the indoor. And if that connection doesn't happen seamlessly, or the indoor signal is not strong enough, it doesn't get a commitment for I guess, like, who am I going to talk to first? The DAS, the BDA, or the network tower? And that time delay could cause major issues for the operating system of the radios and how these radios are able to decipher communications back and forth. So that time delay issue was really important to overcome on this one because the signal from the outside was so strong. Gabe, what were some of the things that if we didn't catch them early, it would have been a bad day come the fire marshal for a final inspection? What are some of the key little hiccups that were saved at the final hour?
Yeah, so once we finally finished the install and commissioned the system, we were testing some of the alarms and we realized that the fire alarm panel wasn't displaying the correct alarms that we needed it to say. And obviously that's an issue going forward because during inspections, if they don't see what they need to see, it's going to be a fail. So we were able to communicate with the fire alarm vendor and get that fixed nice and efficiently. And we were able to avoid any problems going forward with inspection.
Nice, win-win. So Gabe, why do you think the general contractor entrusted their project with us?
From the very beginning, we were able to communicate very well with the GC. We were very transparent with their expectations, with their needs, and we were able to deliver on those. And on top of that, we didn't really deviate from the expectations and the proposal that we had set out from the beginning. Whenever the GC needed to change something or we needed to move something or just get something out of the way for them, we were able to communicate that clearly. And if something wasn't able to be moved, we were able to tell them why and what needed to be there and what purpose it served. But we were on the same page for everything, and that helped out with the smoothness and efficiency of the installation.
Yeah, I think something you did really well during this project is you emphasize how BDA is really a part of the bigger team of the entire project success. And what I mean by that is we don't nickel and dime our GCs. If something's in the way or something needs to get done that's just a little bit out of scope, we talk with them, we work it out. We don't nickel and dime and change order our clients to death, right? Up front, we have a lot of experience in these systems, and working with BDA Systems Company, something that we do a lot is provide guaranteed max price. And we end up coming down on that once we start reducing scope by doing more surveys and doing value engineering. And in this project, there was a lot of communication and transparency from the get-go and working together as a team to resolve little hiccups instead of just waiting around and having things moved for us or having to resolve a penetration here and there. So Gabe, this relationship with the GC was just getting started. Why do you think this ended up being a successful project, and why do you think they'll use this again?
Yeah, so at the end of the day, we're all working towards the same common goal. We're trying to get our scope closed out so that their building can get closer to being occupied and finished and ready for people to be in here and be safe. So I believe that after all the communication and transparency that we had between all of us, we were able to achieve that common goal, and it was a success.
Okay, so rapid fire with Gabe. Gabe, where'd you go to school?
I went to a local high school here, Belen Jesuit Prep. Was there from 6th grade to my senior year.
What was your favorite place to eat for lunch while you were working on this job?
There's a lot of great options in the Gables, so it's hard to choose, but some of the few that we were going back and forth between were the local Flanagan's in the Grove. I personally enjoyed Hillstone, and to change it up every now and then, we go to Yard House.
How many times have you driven past this place and told whoever you're in the car with that you were doing this job?
Oh man, my family's probably already sick of how many times I pointed out that we worked in this building, so too many.
How long have we been on site?
So we started this project back in November. Between a couple of different things that we had to fix here and there, we're now finishing up in January.
What is one thing you wish you would have avoided on this site?
A common discrepancy here in the Gables is the parking situation. It's a little bit difficult to find parking in the area, but we were able to maneuver around that and it wasn't too bad.
All right, so who from the team will you want to shout out and send some kudos to?
Yeah, so from the very beginning, the sales rep for this project, Andres, has been very helpful, very communicative, and very on top of things throughout the whole process. So I've been very appreciative of that, and he's been a great help throughout the way.